Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Master Wing channel. Back again with some more Wingspan Digital. We've got a few more games in our backlog of playtesting content. So thank you again for clicking and stopping by. This is our starting hand, and I'm liking what I'm seeing just because trying to test out some of these birds that we rarely see and rarely play. You likely saw the thumbnail though. This is a post-game commentary, and you are going to see some major fails in this video. So hopefully you can catch them. We'll probably call them out anyway, but we're going to have fun playing it no matter what. So enjoy, sit back, and feel free to criticize how bad this play is. So we keep 4 birds after some debate there. Again, the goal is to play a lot of Asia birds. And you can see from the very get-go, I should have kept a worm, and I keep a fish. So we spend 1 turn gaining 1 food for the blue rock thrush. We are playing a unique combination of expansions. Because I wanted to see more Asia birds, I was under the assumption that the Asia game is a standalone game, and during the playtest it would not let me select just the Asia expansion. So I picked the smallest expansion to play with, and that is the Europe expansion. I think it has about 80 birds. Thinking, you know what, I want to see more Asia. So we got 90 birds in Asia, about 81 birds, can't remember, in Europe. And so that's a very unique combination that I haven't played with, so I'm gonna use that as somewhat of an excuse for the lack of synergy here. But you know, it's still a little early, and we're gonna see how this plays out. I'm still hopeful at this point in the game. Here's that blue rock thrush where you get to choose the habitat and you get to send it off to the next player and draw 3 cards. And I'm thinking, hey, red Avadavat, give 1 card from your hand to another player. If you do draw 2, that's a decent card. And kind of reminds me of the killdeer without the discarded egg. I think the Avadavat has huge potential. And for some reason, I pick up the sparrowhawk. I think with my lack of food, maybe that points me towards a sparrowhawk play just to extend my forest a little bit. And the Sri Lanka magpie, blue magpie, is probably one of the best Asia birds in the game. You can cache a food on, I think, all of your birds if you have enough food. So if you have a forest type engine, I think that's an automatic pickup. And of course, in this game, I don't think either player picks up that bird. So kind of a surprise there. We've got 2 fish that mean nothing to me, because I want to center my game now around the red Avadavat instead of that 2 fish cormorant. So you can see my tempo here is already just off to a rough start. But there's still several turns left in the game, and again, it's not make or break in the first few turns, but I can definitely see some inefficiencies here. I'm hoping this Avadavat, I'm just wondering if you can really center around your game like the old killdeer back in the base game. Obviously, I kept the red-legged partridge as well. Probably shouldn't have, just because, I don't know. Sometimes I get trapped into thinking the partridge is always good. And in this scenario, with not many wetland birds gonna be played, the partridge probably isn't the right move. But the Avadavat does lean me towards a grassland engine. I skip the blue magpie just because I'm desperate for food. I don't see me caching extra food anytime soon. And another thing working against me that I think causes this game to be a major fail is my lack of practice and inefficiency with this base game board. Some of you guys, this is what you do all the time, so that might seem obvious to you, but to me, I'm playing 95% of my games on Oceania, and so I think that's throwing me off a little bit as far as which direction to go. I usually can gravitate towards a certain habitat for strategy, and here I'm just faltering a little bit because we started with the cormorant, we gave away the thrush, then switched to the grassland, and so we're just a little inconsistent here. And I finally have the right food for the that star nest. I think it's the browed tit, I don't know what name it is, but it's a little bird in your forest, white-browed tit warbler, excuse me. And check it out, my opponent has 5 cards down, having a field day already. If you saw the opening screen, we passed on the Moltonies and Yellowhammer because I didn't want my game to be centralized around that, but in hindsight, probably should have picked it up. Of course, this is a non-elo game, and we're going to criticize ourselves harshly here because it's all about transparency on the Master Wing channel, you know what I mean? So feel free to beat me up in the comments here. I don't want to post just games where I score 150 points. I have a high-scoring Asia game back on my channel, but this is not it, where I'm scoring high points. Blue Rock Thrush is coming back to us, so even though my opponent had 5 birds down, one of those I gave to him. And I'm really on the fence about this Blue Rock Thrush because it is kind of nice. Now I'm drawing 3 cards at the same time I'm gaining food. Is it a good bird? Is it a bad bird? You tell me. My opponent has a red jungle fowl. I like that bird as well. Lets you lay eggs basically in any habitat if you have less than 6. And Chiffchaff, Kingfisher, and House Crow. I am liking that we're seeing the new cards here. I'm wondering with this white-browed tit warbler if you should be able to re-roll here. You have 1 bird in your forest with an egg on it. Choose which dice to roll. So I was kind of hoping I could re-roll and then deny the food. You tell me if that's correct, but I was under the assumption you could do that. And we keep gaining rats in the bird feeder. And again, without the nectar, we forget in this game that sometimes the bird feeder feels like a third opponent, where you're just fighting the bird feeder for the right resources. So I guess here I am trying to gain food again to get this partridge down and build somewhat of a grassland engine. Instead of the partridge, we get the blue rock thrush back. And I don't really want to lock in the thrush. I'd like the partridge to lay eggs on the white-browed tit warbler. So this leads us to lay eggs. I would say this thrush disrupted our turn a little bit, but I'm not complaining about 3 extra cards. See, my opponent is not hurting for cards. And this is going to be a rough one. When my opponent has Moltonies and Yellowhammer, they're going to be playing 2 extra birds at the end of the round. Got a couple teal powers drawn there with the Avadavat. I'm checking out the Twite, maybe a play there. And what do? I say I'm not going to use my Chiffchaff. Let's give it away. And what's the end around goal? Birds with tucked cards. So again, another mistake added to this fail montage. My opponent plays the mini vet double play into the Chiffchaff, which at this point I'm fairly certain will help him win the end of round goal. This is just, I'm just getting beat up here. It's like 2 in the morning and feels like I'm just ready to play these birds, test them out, and then log off for a little bit. But hey, here's the partridge, and do as I say, not as I do. We're learning lessons here on the Master Wing channel. I did finally get a bird I want to play, and that is the Philippine eagle. Another fun teal power. You have to roll 3 rats. You get to roll 5 dice. You may re-roll any number of the dice up to 2 times. So a little miniature game of Yahtzee there. If you can roll 3 rats, you get to draw 2 bonus cards. And the last turn of round 2, I don't have anything in particular I'm excited about playing. I'm checking out my opponent with the Rhinoceros Auklet down. Do I play the Eurasian Magpie? Probably not, because my opponent's only going to lay eggs once or twice around with those teal powers. And so, after much debate, I'm just thinking, you know what? House Crow, that's a new Asia card. Why not? Give it a shot. So, 1 point House Crow energy incoming. And I'm going through all this work, painfully debating which card to play. I think I end up playing the House Crow, and we don't even cash at the end because I'm hurting for food. Man, this is tough to play back. Maybe I shouldn't post this one, but it's fine. It's fine if we get roasted a little bit. Philippine eagle. Come on, man. Roll all the dice up to 3 times. I do like, in this playtest, how they formatted these brown powers. Obviously new to us, but very easy to see. And, I don't know, just a nice layout, the way they decided to do this. I don't know what's keeping me from hitting this button. Okay, so we re-rolled, and we got 3 rats. So we get a bonus card and 2 Asia cards, Wetland Population Monitor, Small Clutch Specialist for 0 points. When you only have 6 birds down, you're not going to score bonus points, but the Small Clutch Specialist, if they have 2 egg spaces or less, you can qualify for that bonus card. Of course, my opponent played 2 birds at the end of the round. We're in round 3. I will splice up some of the downtime here, but I think I'm leaning towards laying eggs and picking up 2 more Asia birds that I normally wouldn't pick up. Of course, with that tit warbler, we are going to put eggs on the birds in our forest so we can utilize that brown power better. And I'm looking at the spoon-billed sandpiper, and since my opponent doesn't have a great grassland to copy, instead of the common myna, I take the red wattled lapwing. This was an unexpected surprise. I messaged my opponent after the game about the blue rock thrush. I just didn't realize how fun that could be to get a surprise bird and then send it back and gain 3 extra cards. So anyway, I think we're going to lay eggs again, and the Eurasian kestrel isn't a game-saving bird, but it is a predator, I believe, that lets you roll 3 dice. And if you roll at least 1 rat, you cash 1 rat on the bird. I think the remaining cards are trash. Let me know in the comments if you've ever played a European expansion and Asia together. You can tell I'm just I'm digging here, searching for something I can play. It's just a weird combination of cards, I would say, at this point. I think if I had a tuck and draw, a tuck and lay, this red Ava Devat, again, has huge potential, so please don't give up on the red Ava Devat. It's a star nest, and in place of a Franklin's Gull or Killdeer partnered with a Chihuahuan Raven, that could be a deadly combination. And here's the tit warbler. Get to roll 4 dice, I believe, and you get to choose one of the 4. So it gives you a little randomness, but the more eggs you have in the forest, a little bit more option you have. I was just excited to play that bird for some reason, but maybe not the most consistent food grabber. But we take it. We take those. I could really use a bird. It's called, I don't know if it's a chiff-chaff. Maybe it's the chaffinch. You can play it in your grassland. I think it's in the Europe expansion, the common chaffinch or something, where you can tuck up to 5 cards in your grassland. That could be a game-saving card in this weak grassland engine I have, because I could add 4 or 5 eggs and then tuck all these extra cards I'm not using. My opponent has drawn cards and activates the Rhinoceros Auklet that lets all players discard a card for a fish. So I've got plenty of cards that I'm not gonna play. We go ahead and take the fish. I think now I'm looking for this 4th bird in the grassland. The bee eater seems pretty weak. I go ahead with the red wattled lapwing, and this is going to be on an upcoming video here. But the red wattled lapwing lets you discard any amount of birds from the tray. So 1, 2, 3 cards. And of course that tray will reset. But if you discard a predator, you get to lay an egg on the lapwing. And as I read that power out loud, it just seems very underwhelming, because this could be a potential huge reset for your opponent to just get a free shot at a nice tray. So I'm thinking in the future I'm passing on this bird, but I wanted to try it because this is what this playtest is for. And we have the Avadavat in the back of our grassland. So maybe this is more of a combo bird, and you treat it more like a white stork, where it just resets the tray for you. Because here I reset the tray with the lapwing. I did not get to lay an egg with the lapwing, but I revealed the Greater Adjutant and the Eastern Imperial Eagle. So maybe the lapwing has potential, but I think you have to combo it. I would not expect to be laying a lot of eggs with the lapwing, especially if you have to discard a predator. Maybe you want to pick up that predator instead. And it looks like we got the blue rock thrush back and Philippine eagle time. And it was a fail. We re-rolled twice, did not get to pick up an extra bonus card. And again, skipping the house crow. We win the end of round goal somehow, and we are in dire straits. The chance of winning this game is thin, but we still have a couple big plays coming up. Is there a surprise ending? You tell me. Thank you for watching this far, if you made it. Let's see, 5 turns left in the game. I'm thinking it's eagle time, and then probably the Greater Adjutant. The Greater Adjutant is a yellow power bird that lets you copy a bonus card of my opponent. And since my opponent is having a monster game, I think that's a good time to play the Adjutant. Let's see here. Do we play the Adjutant now? Or do we gain food? I also have that Sandpiper, so I think we gain food here, if I'm not mistaken. Golly, my opponent has, what, 13 birds on the board? Knowing that we can gain food and cash extra food with the house crow, I'm just a little bit short on food to play both of these birds. And again, it's pretty late in the day, late in the game. I think I'm on tilt here. I just want to play Asia Birds and see what happens. And I don't know what I'm doing here. I think you choose 4 to roll, and I'm trying to figure out how to re-roll the bird feeder and end up skipping the power. I mean, this could be my worst game that I've ever played, so we'll see. Greater Adjutant going down, we'll get another egg from the partridge eventually. And the Greater Adjutant also helps with the Small Clutch Specialist bonus card. So, silver lining there. Opponent has laid eggs, and we are going to do the same, just in case I flop a Benelli's Eagle. That may change my last card that I play, but otherwise it's going to be the Spoon-Billed Sandpiper. Man, just a massive amount of mistakes, but it has been fun. It's just lessons learned. Eurasian Hoopoe is an interesting card, probably a video in itself. And let's see, come on Eurasian Kestrel, choose any 3. I think when there's nectar in the tray, I'll be a lot more choosy on what these Asia Predator powers, what dice I'm choosing. Hey, we finally get to cash 1. That's fine. And it looks like, even though the Lapwing reset the tray, there's nothing special that I want to grab. And no Benelli's Eagle to play at the end. So let's just fast forward here to the Spoon-Billed Sandpiper. My opponent gets to discard 2 resources and choose a bonus card as well, and why not? Icing on the cake. Let's whiff with 2 Asia cards. Winter Feeder, I haven't seen that one yet, and Forest Ranger, Ascending or Descending Birds. Stay tuned, we still have the Greater Adjutant, we still have the Adjutant, and Philippine Eagle. We cash 1 with the Crow. And I need a big-time bonus card with this Philippine Eagle. Philippine Eagle has been one I'll probably play. And we were successful. And we pulled Endangered Species Protector, 9 points. So there's a little light at the end of the tunnel. But wait, my opponent has the Indian Vulture, right? That does the same thing that the Adjutant does. So he'll just copy my Endangered Species Protector for 9 points as well. And here we go, Adjutant. I get to look at my opponent's bonus cards, and we will take Grassland Ranger for 5 points. Was this a respectable game? I don't know. My round 4 was decent, just because I played 3 birds. But the scoreboard has not been right in this beta test, so we have to do the math here. 41 plus 20, we're at 61 points. Plus 12, 73. Plus 17, what's that, 90, 92. And we tuck 4 for a whopping 96 points to whatever my opponent had, probably, what, 110, 115? Man, it was a blast playing Asia Birds, but that's about it. New board. Some birds I probably wouldn't play, and my opponent just did Moltonis and Yellowhammer to death, and did a really good job on his bonus cards, and of course got my Endangered Species Protector. Thanks for watching, bye! Have a good one!